Well, hello everyone and welcome to another episode here in the MIgardener bee yard. Hopefully you all are going to enjoy. We're going to check, and right now is the fall time, so we're bringing extra smoke because these babies are very, very active and most likely fairly aggressive since everything they've worked for is now coming to about a month down to D-Day. So we're going to smoke them and we're going to check on them and make sure they've got enough room, or if they need more room, or if they need to be merged with another hive, they're still too weak. I have not touched these things in about 7 weeks. So the last time I checked them was the 4th of July. So about 6-7 weeks maybe more. I'm not counting. So let's go in here, check the first hive. We have three other hives at the house, but these right here are my big concern because these are my hives that are gonna have the hardest winter. Oops, this corner here having a hard time coming off there. All right, let's get out our hive tool here. And now a lot of beginning beekeepers ask me, what do I use for a hive tool? I use a metal spackle scraper. Absolutely no reason to get a hive tool until you get into your 2nd or 3rd year. This is my 3rd year beekeeping, and I still use this. So it works fine for me, and it works great for a beginner that doesn't want to make a big investment. So I'm going to get my smoke because they are already charging me. They're pretty aggressive here. All right, let's see what's been done to these. I'm not going to do a big checkup. I'm just going to do a little one because I don't want to bother them and stress them too much. Because like I said, these have a long winter to go through. So the ones at the house have a much higher chance of survival. All right, they're storing honey. They're storing honey here, but it's not capped yet. But they do have lots of stores that they're filling. So this is the first one. This one is really good. In the bottom brood chamber, it's packed. It's packed right up. So that's what we like to see from these hives. Is the bottom is absolutely packed with brood, and the top boxes are being worked on and filled right now with honey. So it's a good sign. I'm gonna check one more, and then we'll move on to the next box because we got a lot of boxes to check here. And this is also a fairly good sign because this was the oldest hive. So, or I mean, this was the sorry, not the oldest. This was the newest hive that we added. It was basically the last one that I caught, the last capture that swarmed. So really good. These are filling out nicely. I'm very, very pleased with how these ones are being filled out here. These are really nice. Not yet capped, but they're working on it. So very pleased. I think these are on their way. Now, a lot of beginning beekeepers ask me why I always stand behind the hives. And that's because the entrance of the hive is in front. And when you block the entrance, all the bees that were out foraging, they kind of get blocked because they're very directional oriented. They go in the same direction in as they do go out. So if you block that entrance, they don't know how to get back in. So they pretty much just buzz in a big cloud waiting for you to move. So I work on the back because it's kind of where they least expect an intruder to come in as well. Because if you were a bear, you'd probably come in the entrance because that's where, if you were a bear, you'd know there was honeybees. Oh, yes. Very, very active. Good. Oh, yay. This is a very active hive. Now, people ask always, too, why I thump them. And you don't have to. I just choose to get all the bees in the box so that there's no... So all the bees are accounted for before I start smoking. And also, a lot of people ask what I use for smoker material. So this is kind of a Q&A video as well. But I actually use cedar droppings. Cedar trees drop a lot of these little tiny, almost like pine cones, and I actually use those because they're very compact. You can fit a lot of them in a smoker, and they take a long time to burn. So that's just my choice. Right. I think I'm just going to pull like 1 or 2 frames per hive. Mm-hmm. To keep them not so stressed. Oh yeah, oh goodness. So the queen has gotten up in this brood chamber here because they're laying lots of drone cells. Lots of craziness going on here.
Cool pattern.
Yeah, these are kind of some signs that they might be trying to create a new queen. This kind of looks like a supersedure cell here, and these look like there might be some supersedure cells, but I'm not 100% positive. I see lots of honey, so they're definitely healthy. And oh, there is a supersedure cell right there. You got a supersedure cell. I'm not gonna bug them too much. Let them do what they're gonna do, because chances are the bees know more about what they need to do than I do. So, especially it's too late in the season for them to be swarming, so chances are they may have killed their queen, or they may be preparing for next season. So, not quite sure. Let me know in the comments box below. I know I have a lot of very, very veteran beekeepers. This is not my first rodeo, but still to this day they do a lot of weird things that I don't know why they're doing it. But I do see a lot of packed stuff here. They're not really building out these frames, so there's room to build, but maybe I'll have to put another box on here to let them know that they can build up. Not sure. We'll make that decision later. I have another couple boxes in case I need to use them. So, all right, on to the next hive, the smallest of all of the hives. Now, if you remember, this hive was actually gathered from a wetlands in Port Huron. I'll post a link to that video where I captured this hive, and they've just never really done that well. I've not been super impressed with this hive, and I'm not sure why. They're not dumb, but they just, I don't know, they just don't.
They're a little funny.
They're a little funny. They just don't, they're cross-combing a lot, and it looks like they've filled up this box, because the bottom box I can't even access because they've cross-combed it so much that I was just like, you know what, this is not even worth, this is not even worth looking through, because I'm just gonna do more damage than good. So I put on another box, and I actually used wax foundation on that one, and it looks like they've taken to the wax foundation pretty well, because they don't look super cross-comby and weird like the other ones did. This one actually looks really healthy, actually. They might have gotten the clue after a while, Cindy. They might have actually gotten the clue on what to do, because they were what you call drunk bees. They didn't know where to make comb. Oh baby, check this out. We got ourselves actually some capped honey in this one.
Nice.
So this is actually a good observation. In the course of 7 weeks, they've turned into actually good honeybees. Instead of drunk bees, we've got smart bees that have finally gotten the clue. Check this out. Look at that. Nice brood. The queen has obviously gotten up in here. And see, folks, I don't use a queen excluder. I let the queen go wherever she wants to go. If she wants more brood, let her lay more brood. The bees know what they want to do. They're smarter than I am. So I did actually break a few things here. They'll clean that up. They'll rip out all that larva. and they'll throw that out. So
you can see the larva right there.
Yep, there's larva right there, and there's larva right there, and they obviously will rip that out. See there, and they're packing this top up here. Now see, and this is what I talked about in that video. See, they actually will band their basically they'll band their brood because the brood needs to stay warm. And so throughout the winter, what they'll do is they'll put honey here, all along here, and all along here. But they won't put honey here unless, of course, they have all the brood they need. Then they'll pack it with honey if they're satisfied. If they're not satisfied, they will actually continue putting brood here throughout the winter, and they use the honey as an insulator because honey is one of the best insulators for the bees. So I'm gonna put this back. I'm not gonna touch this one. I'm extremely happy with how this one looks. They actually need a little bit more room because they're not even working on honey yet. They're still working on laying babies. So I'm gonna let them do what they were doing and not bug them because they're packed up right. Oh, they are healthy bees. So just a note to anyone getting any wetland bees, they might start out drunk. They definitely get the clue after a little while.